Blessings, beloveds. So, today, beloveds, I decided to answer some questions that many of you have been sending in. I really feel that we are going through kind of the same things, all of us, like the whole soul tribe of ours. We're going through the same thing through time and space, but it's just that they're being presented a little bit different. So, guys, many of you have been sending in questions or actually answering my question when I asked out in the closed Facebook group I'm having, the Soul Tribe Awakening. Many of you answered what you feel are being challenging right now. So I'm going to answer a little bit about that because I really, I've talked with so many of my colleagues, in this field, soul brothers, soul sisters, and it's a very specific, unique time right now because we might feel like we are in this space in between again. And really something that all of you have been answering to my question, what is the most challenging right now, is the feeling, the sensation within ourselves, feeling stuck, not really feeling or knowing what our mission is, and somehow really feeling like not knowing where we are going. So this is something that, hi Christine, I love you eternally. So this is something that I'm noticing that, so many of us are feeling right now, feeling stuck, not knowing which our mission is. We don't know how to serve, and we don't know where we are going, right? So how can we even know what to manifest? Then it becomes like, oof, what am I supposed to do here? So what I'm seeing as I'm tuning into this energetically, looking at the codes, looking at everything, it's really like we are on the edge of really leaving the old template of both, how we live our lives, how we take decisions. We are really leaving that old template of, being a light worker, the old template of doing a mission, like all of that. We're really leaving that. So we're clearing, we're shredding, we're removing all of this, and suddenly becomes like, okay, I'm here now. But where the heck am I going, right? Because we are bringing in the codes and the fragments of the new template, which is the new earth template, right? So nothing really of what our parents or society or really anyone else have told us about how we should plan our life, how we should do mission, how we should, really like take next step, is it needs to leave our field, right? And that is uncomfortable. It really is uncomfortable, and that makes us like, oof, do I dare to leave my comfort zone, right? So we're really all there. And even for many of the light workers that might have really been doing things, I've seen many of you answering, the way you have been doing healing, the way you've been holding spaces, like that doesn't excite you anymore, so that means that all of that needs to be cleared, released, removed. And we talk not only from our parents and ancestor lineage, we're talking about past lifetimes. We talking about the collective field here, right? We're talking about the dimension of 4D, which was the higher dimension than 3D. For many of us, it's about really leaving the 4D and fully stepping into the 5D. Yes, we have already accessed aspects of the 5D, but to really live in 5D here on Earth right now, despite to what's happening on the outside, that's the next step. So I could talk forever about the new template that wants to come in once we feel ready to leave the comfort zone, right? So we really need to leave that comfort zone of ours. And in the new template, it's really, I talked about this so many times, but it's like really taking one step at a time. We cannot really plan so far away anymore. And it's not like, I'm gonna live exactly there, I'm gonna do exactly this, and exactly these people will be with me. It's more like, what is my next step? And then we take the foot in front of the other and we take that next step. And from there, we will see what comes next. So it's really not like before we were really like creating this plan and structure and every single step of the way. And then we were so like focused on it, so we got stuck and couldn't see what was actually unfolding throughout the way. And this is the new earth template. It's like you take one step in front of the other foot, and then you see what unfolds, and then you take the next decision, take the next foot, and you see what unfolds, because we already know by experience that things never turn out as we think or want. Hopefully it actually becomes better and beyond what we thought. But that's once we let go of the details. That's once we always go rise above and see, why is this happening? Like, why is this happening? Why is this happening for me? Okay. And many of you have been saying, I feel stuck, and it's hard for me to step into my full power, right? And of course, again, the amount of identities we have put on ourselves and the amount of identities others have put on ourselves, I mean, they are just incredible. And then we might clear them and we come to a new spot, which feels like our new self. And then, without knowing, subconsciously, we create new identities. And suddenly we're like, "Ugh, I'm done with this," right? And then we need to leave that again. And then we come to a new spot. So it's about always allowing change to come through, compassionately letting go of what is not you anymore, compassionately, you know, being grateful for what has been and what you've done and what you have chosen, not, being in resentment towards yourself and your early choices. That's also when we really can be into that clearing and removing and changing all the way. Hi, Sabrina, my love. So going back and forth in compassion, going backward, checking, okay, whoa, I was here. Now I will go here. So like that's also when we can allow change more into our field, things become easier. It's like with compassion, we don't judge ourselves for our past choices, or like not judging ourselves for being stuck or whatever. We're just like, oh my God, lessons, lessons, lessons. And to be honest, like for me, for an example, I could never be where I am now, work-wise, relationship-wise, in my motherhood or anything, without the huge traumas I've been through. Like honestly, I could not. And it's really like Alan Watts talks about this so much, it's really like uh, we cannot create anything without nothing. And so we need kind of, the traumas, the mistakes to create the wins, right? So the light cannot exist without the darkness. It's really also when we start to understand that, then we stop to try to come to that perfect place, because there is no perfect place. And that's kind of answering all of your answers, or kind of giving you some assistance into all of your answers. It's like the moment we stop to arrive to a place, that we think is going to be perfect, like, if I just arrive here, if I just manage this, and then we just like instead honestly truly understand that the freaking journey is the amazingness, the journey, the lessons, the mistakes, the longings, like all the journey is really what we came here. Every time we arrive, it yeah, it's amazing for a couple of seconds, but then we're gonna get bored and we're gonna need the next level and the next level, because we came here to wake up. We came here to learn. We came here to really go through a full awakening cycle, right? Through all time and space and all multidimensional levels, through all incarnations. I mean, all incarnations. So we are never gonna stop. But of course, in all of this, what happens? We are bringing in simplicity into our life, so we more easily can make changes, right? The more simple our life is, the easier we can make changes. So, and the more space we have in our life, the more we can bring in new things. So that's really like, if we have a fully packed day, how can we connect with source, with God, bringing our higher self and bringing what wants to be birthed into creation? And also, really many are feeling that old behaviors, the train is coming, old behaviors and wounds are coming up, and deep levels of self-doubt. And this is the amazing thing. Like, I went through like a dark night of the soul last Sunday, and I was like, I really honestly thought I wouldn't be able to go as deep. But I mean, I've been on this journey for over 20 years, but I went so freaking deep. 2 hours, and I was so grateful, because I was like, holy smoly, I was like, is my unconsciousness hiding this, my subconsciousness? And, our subconsciousness creates our conscious reality all the time. So we want to access what's there hiding in the subconsciousness, right? So when you get crazy as me and into that inner growth and the ascension, you get kind of happy even in the most painful dark night of your soul, because you're like, holy smoly, my subconsciousness is revealing things that I haven't seen, which is creating my conscious reality all the time. So thank God, let me look at it, right? So many of us are experiencing really, really, really new levels of whatever holds us back from full self-love, like really, really deep self-love, no matter how we look, how we feel, what we accomplish, how we serve, like no matter what, like 100% self-love. Because what happens then, that's when we can start to really flow and follow guidance no matter what, because then there's no fear left for failure. There's no fear of missing out. There's no fear of doing wrong, and so on and so on. So, we're really being asked to turn up the volume of our self-love, because from that space, there's really there's will be no like effort to push yourself through to something that is not for you. There will be this space of effortlessness, which will create a continuous birth of new creation. And as we allow ourselves to flow and change and change and change, that's when we're going to start to feel free. So we don't need to know where we're going to live when we get old. We don't need to know what we're gonna be when we become big, because we're never gonna get old, we're never gonna get big in that old sense. And many of you are answering that it's really hard to navigate 3D and 5D. And oh my God, I've been talking about this so much, and me and Tim, we did a big webinar like almost 2 years ago about this, and it's a big topic, right? So we have been undergoing stages of this. First, we were asleep in the 3D, right? And we started to like wake up and see the 4 dimension and the fifth dimension, and we started to really connect different parts of our energy bodies into the higher dimensions, right? So we needed to work ourselves through physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, from 3D to 4D to 5D. And once we understood the 5D, it became really hard to be in the 3D, right? Many of us are or have been experiencing that we can almost not be around people that are not in the 5D consciousness, or we feel really separated from those people. We cannot be at work. We go through burnouts, and all of this is really part of the awakening. And then we go through all those things, and we start to feel like we manage to be around 3D people, which is three-dimensional vibration, we should say, not people, three-dimensional vibration. And we feel that we can assist by being who we are, and we still can, we really can. But then I feel that the next level that we're coming to now is the deep question of, do I want to assist in this way? Do I want to assist? And of course, it's one thing to choose when to assist the three-dimensional, choosing beings, or if we need to be there every single day at work and communicate and integrate with interact with those. So that's two different ways, and that's what's coming into the field now. That's why many of you are feeling like, oh, it's getting harder and harder to navigate to the three-dimensional and level. And when you have children, right? And my children, they're like, my youngest are 17 and 18, and you see them making really bad choices. You see them opening dark negative portals through gaming and doing different things, right? So it's also intense to stand there and anchoring and not be able to assist them as we want. So all of this takes us back to one thing: to be who we are, to emanate the codes, to be the awakening, to be the pillars of light, which means universal truth, which means clear boundaries, which means divine love, which means higher love, not codependency love, which means divine power, which means also really making sure that you are full of what you need so abundance can come out and come through. So we are bringing in the codes by living the life we want to live on all levels, and through that the people around us will see, right? So I have so many, like, really, with my divine union, my beloved, we have received so many codes, and the message has been, not to give out teachings. So we're like, just show yourself, show up pictures, do videos, people will get the codes. So the people that are supposed to meet you will meet you, maybe on the street, everywhere they see you kiss each other, they will get the codes. It's the same thing with our kids. It's the same thing with our beloveds that are not awakened, that are still asleep, and they see us breaking ourselves free, becoming less and less, attached, but more and more connected. So we're not disconnecting, we are really connecting, but we are not attached. So we're becoming more and more free, right? So kind of to answer all of your questions, this is the thing, right? We don't know where we're going. Kind of no one of us know where we're going. And I would like to ask you, do you really need to know where you're going? Would that make you feel more safe? Would that make you feel better? Do you really need to know where you're going? Or do you just need to keep connecting to your own energy, your own deeper knowing, the messages, the longing, and kind of, really have your field as high vibrating as possible and your heart as open as possible, which means losing the mind. So you will feel instantly when there's a person there that you want to spend more time with or be with, or a group of souls. So it's like, whatever you're gonna need is gonna come into your field, because you are really just emanating and vibrating that energy of your divine love, of your divine truth, of your divine power, which is the threefold flame. So coming back to center, this is what is happening right now. We are really activating our threefold flame, which is really also activating the codes in our blueprint, activating our gold print. And from there, we are creating or reactivating the template of the new earth. So, we are in the space of letting go of everything we ever knew in one way, really new, and going into what we really know. That means energetically really know. We're letting go and losing our mind to come back to our heart and really live from here. Because I can just tell you this, what I can see in my premonition is like, it's gonna go fast. So much is gonna change. We don't want to get stuck in any fixed idea. Any fixed idea really like narrows the idea of what we actually could experience. So this is really like letting go, surrender, trusting. Once you get the message, take action. Like, yesterday I got this strong message about creating a new Instagram account and sharing my life outside the city. I didn't think about it, just created it, and I just started, and I did 3 posts, right? I'm just doing it because I'm allowed to also end it whenever I need. No one creates my rules. So it's the same for you, beloveds, right? No one creates your rules. You create them. You create your reality. You create your limits. There's limitlessness accessible for us now. So in the limitlessness space, we need to bring the energy of nothing. And if we cannot be in the space of nothing as long as our higher self wants us, then there's nothing that can be created. So nothingness needs for something to be created. Okay, let's see what the teams wants to bring in, beloveds. Yes, I also want to really talk about the next awakening teaching I'm doing next week on Tuesday. It's a big one. It's actually about moving out of your comfort zone. I hope you will come because it will be a different one. We will do a ceremony of like clearing, releasing. There will be an activation meditation that you can keep using throughout the year. And then I will actually really talk about how to move out of your comfort zone. So, beautiful. So the teams would like us to move into our heart and just stay here for a little bit and just breathe into your heart. We ask beloved God, our family of light, to anchor and harmonize the group field, clear any imbalances and misqualified energies, clear and close all negative portals, open all channels of light, asking for the highest good for each and every one of us in our here and now. So as you tune into your heart opens a gateway. It is like a stargate right now. See a stargate open up from your heart chakra. If you cannot see, you can visualize it. Expand this stargate portal. Expand it. There might be colors presented to you. And we really ask for the most powerful stargate portal to open to assist us in this here and now to access the energy, the codes of nothingness. Lose your mind. Let go of everything you know in this moment. Let go of your name, your age, your gender. Move up to a soul level and move into the stargate of nothingness. You might hear noises and sounds outside of you, but you are now accesses in this moment from nothingness a limitlessness space. Kuru yaki atanara na kurusono shianaya. Okay, you're receiving the codes from your heart to always be able to open up, move into this stargate, this portal of nothingness, which is a limitless space where whatever, when it's supposed to enter, can enter. Kurususunushi aki atanaraya shuya. Beautiful. Just contract a little bit. And now we're contracting this stargate portal into our heart chakra as a recording, and it can be accessed whenever you want to when you open sacred space and close it afterwards. So we ask for this to be sealed, to be integrated with grace, ease, love, light, and empowerment. thanking everyone that was involved and assisted. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, so be it, so be it. It is done. Kurososhana, yeah. Blessings, beloveds. Thank you for popping in. I promise to put in the link to the Move Out of the Comfort Zone. And if you have missed that closed Facebook group, Soul Tribe Awakening, you're free to join, because I usually ask questions there, and it's a very like safe container where we always work with a 12-dimensional shield to really kind of just support each other, to post if we need and answer each other, support each other. Okay, I love you endlessly. Mwah! Blessings. And I know I'm gonna see many of you also in Glastonbury. Me and Tim talked this morning, and we are so excited for the soul gathering there. I love you, I love you, I love you.